Adults of Reddit, what's something you experienced as a kid that you did not truly appreciate how cool it was until your adult years? Your life is more about regret management than goal achievement, isn't it? My niece, 7 at the time, grabbed my hand to hold it, so I thought. Instead turns my hand to get a good look at the back of it and says to the room, still no ring huh? Then proceeded to marry me to my dog. We are going 6 years strong now. You're less a person and more a loose collection of personality flaws. Was with my son at a playground. He was on the tire swing, and I was just chilling on a bench and keeping an eye on him while also scrolling through my Instagram feed. A random little girl came up to me and tapped on my shoulder, which honestly made me flinch because I wasn't expecting it. I just looked at her and gave a confused look, and she didn't say anything for like 10 seconds. Then she said, sorry, I thought you were my grandpa. I'm a 28-year-old woman. She somehow mistook me for an elderly man. My card was declined buying a coffee and a 14-year-old girl next to me offered to pay for it because she could tell I really needed a win. I was called a gray sprinkle on a rainbow cupcake, harsh. Not said to me, but I died when I heard a kid say, you look like you came from a donation pile. Got into the office, go to sit down, and before I can even get in the chair a guy walks into the office and goes, did you go to college? Because it must have taken years of training for anyone to be this useless. You clearly got the master's degree. I'd never met or seen this man before in my life. He apparently thought I was somebody else in the id office and just decided to lay into me. It's impossible to underestimate you. A young girl asked me if I had chicken pox due to my acne. I was pestering my then girlfriend / now wife, and she turned to me and said, you need to go home and think about everything you are. Then change it. My jaw dropped and she immediately started apologizing. She had meant it to be kinda snotty, but realized how harsh it had come out and felt bad. I actually thought it was kinda funny, but I still tease her about it sometimes. You sneeze like a squirrel. It wasn't the word so much as it was the sheer look of disdain and the disgust in that 9-year-old's voice. Edit for detail, my sneeze was indeed purposefully small because the kids were quietly working on math homework and I didn't want to disrupt. When I sneezed, he stopped and set his pencil down, told me off, then picked his pencil back up and kept working. I didn't receive it, but the best I've ever heard is, everyone that has ever loved you was wrong. That quote from Full Metal Jacket always gets me good. Your parents have any kids that lived? Yeah. I bet they regret that. From the British comedy r/Dwarf /, I think we've all got something to bring to this discussion, and from now on I think the thing you should bring is silence. Friend A and I stop in to see friend B. Friend B's young, maybe 7Y/O, female cousin is there. She starts explaining the toy she's playing with, and friend A politely nods and says, that sounds like fun. She looks up, laughs, and tells him, you'll never have a girlfriend. When I was a camp counselor, this girl couldn't think of my name and said, who's the girl with the frizzy hair and loud voice? Everyone immediately knew it was me, but no one understood why I was insulted by that. About 1,000 people were on campus, all female. I was the girl with frizzy hair and a loud voice, without question. Me, what are you doing on Friday? Girl, I'm washing my hair. Oblivious, me, so what about Saturday? Girl, I'll think of something. Edit, thank you for the sympathy, she was out of my league anyway. Still felt like 2 hard slaps though. Additional edit, thank you for the gold. I would like to share it with all the other fellas out there who has been on the receiving end of a burning insult. Daddy, you are boring, and you have stinky feet. I swear I want that on my tombstone. Had a kid tell a classmate that they smelled like hot dog water. Stupid people can believe in anything, so you can believe in yourself. I was a camp counselor for small children at a day camp. One day, Ben, who was 3, called me a bad guy. I asked why he thought I was a bad guy. Because he was Spider-Man and knew I was the bad guy. But you're not dressed as Spider-Man. Checkmate 3-year-old. If you don't have a costume then you can't be Spider-Man and I can't be the bad guy. Next day Ben shows up in full Spider-Man costume, runs up and promptly informs me I'm a bad guy. Well played, Ben. According to his parents that's all he could talk about all night after being picked up, and he wouldn't put on any other clothes that morning. You're not pretty enough to get away with being that stupid. I wish he were a speed bump for my tricycle. From my sister, when we were 4 or 5. A toddler once told my sister I like your mustache, while gently poking her upper lip. You're like a lighthouse in the middle of a desert, bright, but not a lot of views. Not me, but my wife. My wife's father died about 12 years ago from cancer. We've been open with the kids about it, since they never got to know their grandpa. He passed before my wife and I married. A couple of weeks ago, I accepted a job out of state, and I'm currently geographically separated from my family. I'm going to move them here once the school year ends. Well, the day I left, my wife was feeling pretty blue, and was listening to a sad song while she did the laundry. My little girl walked into the room and asked to use the computer. After this song is over, my wife replied. It's a sad song, my little girl observed. I feel a little sad today. Why are you sad, mommy? Is it because your dad is dead and your husband left? It's since become a running family joke. Edit, Owen Barks. I'm glad so many people liked the story, and thanks for the silver. You, big throw up. My 6-year-old sister was so furious. She stuttered and fumbled over her words until she spit out this gem. Bob Ross would call you a mistake. Question mark? I was once told I was more disappointing than an unsalted pretzel. A friend once said I was not being the person Mr. Rogers knew I could be. I work in an office with kind of separate pods, but it's not uncommon for someone from another pod to talk to someone in mine. Best one I've heard so far, called out in a dead silent office. Done. Yeah, what? I'm going to invite your mum out for dinner and then not turn up. May you be living proof that man can endure anything. My leadership professor, circa day 4 of the first class I ever had with her, you're not actually listening to people, you're just waiting for your turn to speak. This is why everyone talks about you behind your back. My 7-year sister had kissed a boy in school, and I was joking about it, like whoop, used him on the lips. She then proceeded to write me a note next to her drawing of me. I kissed a boy, but you are 26 and still don't have a boyfriend. That's a funnier joke. It really hurt. I accidentally cut someone off the other day, and instead of flipping me off the guy, gave me a big thumbs down out the window and that hit harder. You damp sock. Someone called me a crunchy lizard once, in reference to my hair gel. I asked why that was a bad thing. She said, a crunchy lizard is not a happy lizard. Apologize to that tree over there for wasting the oxygen that it worked so hard to make. I was playing a drinking game that involves rules being made on the fly. Cheers to the governor. We had a no swearing rule, and then an insult rule, which made it a G-rates insult rule. So my friend is up, and I'm the insultee, and, without hesitation, she says your teeth aren't as white as they could be. I was flabbergasted. The complete lack of hesitation combined with the specificity of the insult was devastating. I knew she meant it, and had been stuck in her craw for a while. I started whitening my teeth the next day. Retake the picture, so I can be in it. It'll look a lot better, my younger sister, when I was taking a selfie. Had a 4-year-old patient tell me the other day I'm a big ugly monster. Why are you such a wet sandwich? If Mr. Rogers was your neighbor, he'd move. Someone was trying to insult me. I responded with, I don't respect you enough to be insulted by you. This exchange happened accidentally between me and my boyfriend the other day, and it's been legendary for us ever since. Him, after making a mistake, sorry I'm an idiot. Me, wanting to reassure him but failing miserably, don't be sorry for who you are. I felt so bad, meant to say something along the lines of don't be sorry, it's okay, you're not an idiot, but we ended up having a laugh over it when we realized how fire it was, lol. You have the ass of a 10-old boy. I was a 16-year-old girl, n 33. Burns like it was yesterday. Not me, but when my sister was younger, her friend told her you're my best friend. Question mark? To which my sister responded, thank you. The only culture you have is bacteria. My dad called someone a model human being, and then muttered yeah, a non-working facsimile of the real thing under his breath. I was 14, and found it hilarious. See, this right here. This is why you're destined to be a bitter old man, cold and alone as you slowly waste away. No one will notice when you die, and the only thing you will leave behind is a history of petty, pointless hate. The world will be a little bit better when you're gone. Smooth brain. As an adult, you're not a relationship that's worth maintaining. As a kid, I bet he doesn't even like dinosaurs. Kids are brutal. My son, who was 4 or 5 at the time, would ask me a basic question about his world. Why is the grass green/sky blue, etc. I would give him an answer to the best of my ability, all tailoring it to his age. He would think about it for a second. No. Why is the grass green? My 4-year-old son calls people suckhead buttheads. Grandpa taught him suckhead, Ixton, butthead so it rhymes flows. Then I realized my boy is basically walking around calling people cock-sucking assholes. No one seems to notice, so I allow it. You're not even your mom's favorite child. He was an only child. Lol. I'm from the South, and there are many thinly veiled insults. Bless your heart is one I've heard. But the worst I've received is, maybe you would feel better if you put on some lipstick. I felt fine. Yes, it didn't show. And the stinging. Are you going out looking like that? After having worked hard on my hair/makeup/outfit. Edit for clarification, bless your heart can also be used to express sympathy and kindness. Its meaning is entirely contingent on the context. I have used it, and heard it used both as an insult, and as an expression of sympathy and understanding. And be honest, I hear it mostly used as an expression of sympathy than an insult. You look like a quail egg. The world is a better place when you're asleep. I'd explain it to you, but I have neither the time, nor the crayons. Don't know if it's really all that harsh, but the most salient one in my memory will always be the time I annoyed my sister so much she called me a reeking freeted by accident. You have a big head, my 5y/own nephew. What color was the crayon you used on your application? Also, a classic, you'd struggle to pour water out of a boot with the instructions printed on the heel. You will have a sparsely attended funeral,